Hey guys, welcome to another episode of GameHammer Extra Gaming Pickups. Now, it's been lockdown, so the pickups are a little short, but we do have another thing coming. Well, two things coming, in fact. But for the moment, I want to record what I've got here because I want to talk to you about them. And also, I want to get them stored on the shelves so that they don't get damaged. So, let's get straight into it. Now, the games I'm about to show you are loving gifts from my lovely wife Jennifer, who is great and awesome, and I forgot to say that the 505 games in the last pickup were also from her. So, yeah. Thank you, Jen.
That's alright. I like to treat my lovely little Snuggles.
Don't break my hat, it's my special hat.
I like to treat Snuggles with random I Love You presents.
She loves to increase the collection because, to be honest with you, she might not play games, but she does like to collect.
I love collecting.
We're quite a team. Anyway, let's get into the pickups. Okay, first things first, we have a very generic Streets of Rage type thing, only in 3D. It's Street Boyz from 505 Games. Got it in a plastic case. It's all here. And like I say, it's like a... If you've played some of the 3D brawlers that have been out and about, it's a bit like that, only the range of moves that you've got are very limited, especially at the start. It's alright. I played for about 15 minutes before I thought, why am I continuing this? I'm only here to test it. So it did grab me a little bit. Its biggest issue, aside from the side range of moves, is that the controls aren't quite right. I was trying to turn around to attack someone that got behind me, and I kept doing moves in front of me. The turn mechanism requires you to completely stop doing anything and then to rotate. That's not great. But like I say, everything's here in really good condition. It's not been used much at all. And if you see it around, it's worth giving it a try. It's not a brilliant game. It's not a terrible game. It's just slightly below average. So let me put back into the protective sleeve. Those of you who are collectors know why we have these. If something's rare and it's in really good condition, you want to keep it in really good condition so that you don't end up having to replace something that you've broken when it's hard to find. But it's not the only game that I picked up, because we also have Pong, another one from 505. Now this one it's below average again. It's an oddity. You know Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball on the Xbox, and how playing that tends to make you feel like a little bit seedy, a little bit like you're playing something for pervs? Pong does the same thing. It's an oddity. The standard quick play one-on-one is a little bit too easy in my view. It might be possible to adjust the difficulty, but it starts off a little bit too easy. I played it. I thought, yeah, this can work as a ping pong game. It's basic. It's not got a huge amount of finesse to it, but the ping pong system works all right. So I had a few games and enjoyed playing that for the most part. I then tried the story mode. The story mode is essentially a dating sim, where you're trying to collect autographs and get to know the girls, and to do that you have to defeat them in games of ping pong, otherwise they won't respect you. So that's where the Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball side came in, because you can get costumes for the girls. You can only collect them, by defeating them in a sport, and everyone has far too large breasts, and it's really there just to have a collection of women wearing scantily clad outfits. So below par, I'd say 2 out of 5 stars. But again, everything's here in great... You can see it's not been used much. Everything's here in great condition. If you want a ping pong game, there are better ones. If you want a dating sim, there probably are better ones. But if you want both, there you go. Okay guys, this one's going to be very quick because there's only one thing to talk about. Just a quick addition, and it's Fishing Fantasy Buzz Rod. Now, what do you think of when you see this game? Apart from, oh, it's by 505 Games, so it's going to be weird. You think a fishing game, don't you? But it's not quite. It's a fishing role-playing game. I kid you not, this is a role-playing game about an archaeologist who goes to investigate an ancient culture that essentially viewed fishing as a really important thing that got them closer to their gods. So, Turns out this is a bit of a hidden gem. It's actually quite a bit of fun, and it's weird. But the archaeologist is a possum. So your main character is a possum that wears a waistcoat, who's kind of an archaeologist, but not as good as his uncle or grandfather archaeologist person. Investigating an ancient culture by doing fishing. Yeah. 505 games, you strike again. It's actually pretty good. I've been enjoying it. Right, what have we got next? Well, guys, there is a little bit extra that we've got for today, and it's actually quite interesting. So, I've been trying to collect all of the Amstrad Action cover tapes for quite a while. I managed to get the one from Amstrad Action issue 37. This is the birthday one for that year, and it's got the special version of Dizzy on it. It's not quite the same as the original Dizzy game. It's been changed a little bit. So it's got a special version of that. It's also got SM Art 2, which is one of the best art packages that you could get, which is rather nice. It's actually quite a good one. And then this one I've been looking for ages. I thought it was the first, but it's not. Christmas issue for issue number 16. So not the first Christmas, the one after. This is hard to get. The only one that's harder to get of the cover tapes is the first one, the one from issue 4, the first Christmas. My goodness, it's hard to get. I am still looking for that one. I've almost got all of the cover tapes now, so I need the Christmas one, and I think that's it for the ones that aren't numbered. Then it's the last handful of the final issues, so I'm getting there with the collection. I'm very happy to have finally got that, but you know what's made me even more happy? Finally found a copy of Dancing Stage Supernova. Now, thank you very much to Jen for this and the next PS2 game as well, because this is something that has been very, very difficult to track down. This game it's rarer than the rest. It's not rare, but it's really hard to get. The sequel to this, which I didn't even know existed, that's really hard to get. So if you thought this was bad, the one that comes after is even worse. Hardly ever used, doesn't even know much. Great condition, almost mint. Some great tracks on here as well. Really great to dance to, good for exercise, so I'm very, very happy to finally add it to the set. But it's not the final one, because the last one we have for this month, a bit of a small set for this month. There is one more game on its way, but it's coming from Hong Kong, and I don't think it's going to arrive anytime soon. If it does, I'll put it here. But I doubt it's going to actually turn up. But the final PS2 game is Dino Stalker. I've been looking for this for years, literally years, trying to get a copy that isn't completely destroyed. Now, this one's got a little bit of a mark across the top because it's been out of the top of the plastic at some point and it's just got rubbed. And there's no manual with it, but the game is in great condition in terms of the actual game itself. And my goodness, it's been worth the wait. I have thoroughly enjoyed playing this. It's great! It's not what I expected. I thought it was going to be a bit like Resident Evil, but it's more like Time Crisis. It's really good fun, though. So I've been enjoying that. I've got a little extra to add to this, and if you can hear a whining in the background, it's because I'm backing up some archive footage from GameHammer games. I've got all of the game footage. So I want to add to the pickups, because we've got a few more, and there may be extras that I have to put in after this. I don't know if there will be, though. So we've got this. I'm not sure whether I've mentioned it before, the Dennis and Nasha fan club. Now, I love this stuff. I have the originals somewhere. I think they're in my parents' attic. But either way, I've got the reissued ones here for the anniversary. Now, it comes with 2 badges. Now, you might remember these badges. I certainly remember them. The standard Dennis and Nasha fan club, which is the same as the drawing on the front. It's a standard metal badge. But if you remember correctly, this never was. This was always a bit of fur with a cardboard Nasha on it and googly eyes. Now, the Nasha bit is metal, so this will last an awful lot better. Also, they've replaced the pins that used to be on the front. They used to just be safety pins. They've replaced them with a modern badge, like clicky Preston style. See if I've got what else I've got here. Now, I don't remember getting a card when I was in the fan club the first time, but I do remember the piece of paper that told you all about stuff. And on the back, it used to have a list of ways you could display your badges on your school blazer, which I never had when I was a kid, until I was 12 and far too old to have been in the National fan club, actually. I wish I still was at the time. The Dino was a good comic, but I'd moved on to Victor. But yeah, it used to have a list of ways you could display it, and now it's not. It's about downloading stuff. So it is very different. The thing is different. It's just how it is. And you've got your ID there. You're supposed to stick a photo of yourself in and fill that in. I did when I was originally in it. I never had the photo, I just drew a picture. But there we are. I can't remember if I've told you about this before, but now I have. So there we go. So I've got to put this back together. Try and keep the badges in position, which is difficult because they don't actually fit in very well. Which means that your fan club cover always has this weird bend in it. Whether it's a modern one or an original one. It's just how it is. It's a plastic wallet, it bends, it's part and parcel with it. So I've got it in the package that it came in to keep it nice and stop all the bits falling out, and I've got to find somewhere to put it. I don't know where. I've got to find somewhere to display it, because I really want to display it in the room. But that's not all we've got, because Jenny provided, again, she's got me another little present, and it's Harvest Fishing, a kind of part sequel, part spin-off from Harvest Moon. It's an RPG fishing game. Isn't that in great condition? So I'm looking forward to having a minute to actually play this. By the time you see this, I'll have the footage in, because it only came yesterday and I haven't had a minute yet. But everything's here in fantastic condition. Thank you so much, Jen. This is difficult to find, but really well worth picking up if you find it, because, yeah, there aren't many. But that's not all, because I did a swap with Cy Owen, who has Ginger Hippie Gaming, I think it is. I'm terrible with his name, but I'll put his link in the description bar, because I swapped him a copy of Corporation on the Mega Drive, a complete copy of Corporation, and he sent me a Texas Instruments command module, which I'm really, really happy to have. This is heavier than most of the other ones I've got. Like Hangman here is light as a feather compared to this. In fact, most of them are light as a... Yeah, football, light as a feather compared to this. Most of them, in fact, are light as a feather compared to Mini Memory. This is not a game. Texas Instruments was... The Texas Instruments machine, the company was really, really going for being educational and being something that you used at home to develop your skills. They weren't trying to be a gaming thing, which is one of the reasons why they ended up losing out to the Commodore 64, because they didn't understand what the market was going to be. But having said that, at the time when they put out the computer, that they were pretty much dead on the market, and they had a hell of a size of market share before they had to recall the machine due to electronic problems. This is Mini Memory. It's an assembler programming language on cartridge with a built-in EPROM. So you can make your own programs and store them on this module. That is amazing. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. We're going to try and code a game on live game coding at some point. I'm going to have to work around with it first, though, play around and see what I can do with it, so that I'm not spending the entire live stream just sitting going, and looking up the manual. I am looking forward to giving this a try, however. So I'm just going to put that in with the rest of my Texas Instruments stuff for the moment, because it's not all he sent. Because he found Bob the Builder Festival of Fun. Now this is an Australian version, and this is hard to come by. I don't know why, maybe it just didn't sell very well, but I've been looking for this for a couple of years now. It's really hard to get, but it's in great condition with everything here. So I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Cy. I'm on the lookout for some GameCube games to send you as a thanks, and also, just as a little bit of a treat, I'm going to send you a signed copy of one of my books as well, just as a thank you for sending these over. So, yeah, where have I put it? Yeah, drawn a few little things in the front for you as well. So look out for that in the post side. But I'm mostly looking for GameCube games as a way to pay you back for this, because the other one is Shrek Smash and Crash Racing, which is not quite as good condition, because unfortunately in the post the little bits fell out on the CD clip can't be helped. The rest of it is in fantastic condition. No scratches on there. The manual's in great condition. Everything is great. It's just a shame that, unfortunately, one of the things holding the disc in fell out. So you can still get it to click in. Just, it's going to have to be very carefully put on a shelf for the moment until I can find a good quality replacement case for it. But wow, also that's an Australian one as well. And again, this is difficult to find. Been looking for that to try and finish my Shrek subset off for a while. I just haven't been able to. But they're the games that have been coming. So thank you so much to Jen and thank you so much to Sai for adding to the collection. Really do appreciate it. And you know what, guys? That would have been everything except Jen found this. Thank you so much, Jen. It's Ninjabread Man. Now, it's the PlayStation version, which I was hoping would be a little bit better than the Wii version because the camera controls in the Wii version aren't great. Yeah, the camera controls are better on this one. It works better with the twin sticks, but the general movement controls are slippery. So, it's like, take your pick, you know? But, decent condition. Yeah, it's Ninjabread Man. What can I say? It's not exactly going to be a masterpiece of video game history, is it? But yeah, it's Ninjabread Man. It's not exactly going to be a masterpiece of video game history, is it? We all know that going in, so you get what you're given, basically. But it's not the only thing, because today I've held off a little bit in case lockdown eased and shops started opening again. They did. So I've been around the charity shop. Well, charity shop singular, because the other one isn't open yet. Can't blame them. Their staff are older. I think protecting them is a good idea. But one's open. So I picked up a Blu-ray of Hostel Part 3. Never seen any of the Hostel films. I'm hoping that I don't have to have seen the first two in order to understand what's going on. But decent condition with a code. I'm assuming that the code for the movie extras download has been used. It's all kinds of... they know their market, don't they? They've got the thing for the download code, then... instructions on how to get the best out of your Blu-rays, like, well, put them in the player. And then an advert for some Blu-ray discs, so we can kind of get an idea of when this came out. Blu-ray 3D is the big thing they're pushing. Picture of the woman from Resident Evil. We've got the Green Hornet, Priest 3D, Resident Evil Afterlife 3D, Monster House 3D, Open Season 3D, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So, yeah, that's the kind of market they're going for, is it? Okay, so Hostel, not something I would normally go for, but when you see it fairly cheap and you think, well, I'll give it a try, don't you? Because I am a horror aficionado, not as much as I'm a science fiction aficionado, oh my goodness. But you never know. So, next up we've got Machete, good condition again, DVD version of this one, and Blood Rain 2. Now, you all know what I think about Blood Rain, but yeah, we'll see how the film is. Film will probably be really, really bad. Anyway, that's all I've got because the cartridge I've ordered from Hong Kong still hasn't arrived. Getting a bit bored waiting over it, to be honest with you, but that's one of the things you have to do. It's due anytime between now and the end of the month. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that is all I've got for you this time. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, remember to click that like button, share it with your friends so that they'll know some good pickups as well. And do subscribe for future videos because there will be more in the future. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson. You've been watching a GameHammer Extra Gaming pickup video, and I'll see you later. If you liked today's video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. And an extra special thanks goes out to Chief89 and Tepic. Thank you.